Hi guys, and welcome back to the Traore Army. Today we have three topics to discuss, and really one of them is about the divided states as usual, making headlines for all the wrong reasons. As usual, I think we're used to the divided states making headlines for all the wrong reasons and so on. Today we're going to talk about the 1.5 trillion that they actually made a deal with the president of the DRC. How that is such, I don't know, that's like a ridiculous kind of like deal, to be quite honest. And then we're going to talk about Traore bringing back the death penalty. And in normal circumstances, I wouldn't have a smile on my face when I think about the death penalty, because I feel like every human being is redeemable. But I'm going to actually discuss why I feel like Traore is bringing it, or why it's needed at this moment. Yeah, and then I think the third thing that we're going to discuss is the exploitation of like, seriously, I think you will understand after this video. You will understand that yes, our leaders might be corrupt, some of them, but some of them, they don't have much of a choice. It's like somebody putting a knee on your neck, like literally, that's what it is, to be quite honest. You won't believe it. But let's get started. Okay, welcome back, guys. So the divided states, I think you know who I call the divided states. Obviously, it's quite self-explanatory. So it's making headlines for all the wrong reasons. I'm probably going to add the fact that they are apparently now sending their, I don't even understand what's the problem with Africa, to be quite honest, because this guy, I think, what's his name? I don't know his name, but he's in the Trump administration. He said that, and I think we made a video about this. I'm not going to kind of go into details about it, but they are sending the most despicable people to Africa. Now, when you look at despicable, even the word itself, we know that that means that that person probably committed murder, they probably are perverts, they probably rape, and so on. And Africa is like, come on, send them to us for money. Like, are you guys, like, what's going on?
We are actively searching for other countries to take people from third countries. So we are active, not just El Salvador, we are working with other countries to say, we want to send you some of the most despicable human beings to your countries. Will you do that as a favor to us? And the further away from America, the better, so they can't come back across the border. I'm not apologetic about it. We are doing that. The president was elected to keep America safe and to get rid of a bunch of perverts and pedophiles and child rapists out of our country.
Like, honestly speaking, there is just something wrong about some of our leaders. Now, having said that about our leaders, I also need to now discuss about, anyway, so first of all, let's look at the Trump negotiation about creating peace in the Congo. And obviously we know what Congo has been going through like the past 20 years, if I have to say that. And Trump come and just like this, apparently he's going to give peace to the Congolese people. And in return, obviously it's not free, as we know. These people act like they are helping us without really extracting anything from us, but they are liars. They are a bunch of liars. Anyway, so there's a deal where he's gonna get minerals for 1.5 trillion. That's like insane. Maybe the number is not correct. Trillion? Maybe it's billion. Okay, I'm gonna correct it, but I think it's trillion, to be quite honest. I think so. And the funny thing about it is that although they started this extraction, I think they started already by June, like immediately after the deal was signed. Remember that video that I did about that journalist who was so happy, who was telling Trump he's gonna get a Nobel Peace Prize, because Trump has been really wanting to have a Nobel Peace Prize. Guess what? Because Obama has it. And this guy is competing with Obama, I guess, like, you know. Anyway, so, but the funny thing about it is that although they have started, you know, with like extracting the minerals and so on, the peace hasn't come to Congo. Congolese are still being unalive on a daily basis. And I will show you a video. Let's look at what's going on in Congo first before I even go on.
Minister Olivia Jean-Patrick Nduhungirehe and his DRC counterpart Teresa Kayikwamba signed a peace deal to end decades of fighting. Central to the peace deal is a joint security plan aimed at dismantling the FDLR and the withdrawal of Rwandan troops from Congolese territory by the end of October.
This is grounded in the commitment made here for an irreversible and verifiable end to state support for FDLR and associated militias. That is the bedrock of peace and security in our region.
To our fellow citizens in the East, this agreement was signed with you in mind. It provides for the disengagement of armed forces, the protection of civilians, the return of displaced persons and of refugees under government authority, and establishes a follow-up mechanism to ensure compliance.
However, months after the deal, fighting has continued. Since late July, fighters from anti-DRC militants have killed 150 civilians in North Kivu and Ituri provinces. In North Kivu province, the M23 rebels operate in Kirumba, Pinga, Rutshuru, Masisi, Nyabiondo and Sake, while in South Kivu province, the rebels are in control of a key town near Walungu district.
So, can you see what's going on? So, I don't know what's going on with our leaders, to be quite honest. There's part of our leaders that I feel like there's a knee on their neck. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. And I think one of the people who expose what is really that is actually the 3 Sahel leaders. They've exposed that. And I think I also talk about it in our video. I don't mind repeating because maybe you haven't watched that video, but you come across this. So some things I could repeat. Okay, so now let's go back to what I mean by, the knee on their neck. So the Sahel leaders had France backing them up, helping them getting rid of terrorists, right? And then they found that the terrorists are actually having much more weapons than them. I think I share a video about Dr. Arikana saying that they have to literally apply for France to send weapons when the terrorists have so much weapons and they have been unaliving people. So something just didn't click. Like, what's going on? The math is not mathing. So then the Sahel leaders, obviously, as we know them, what they did is getting rid of the French troops, and it worked, because even though it doesn't mean that completely the terrorists has been eliminated and so on, but it does mean that they have been eliminated to a certain extent. So right now, the Sahel leaders or the Sahel regions are doing much, much better than when France was there. So for me, that shows that you create a problem, which is what the West has been doing. Come on, guys, we know that. I literally know about that even before I just didn't know to which extent they did it, but I knew that, they do that. So they create a problem, and then after creating the problem, they come and offer you that, okay, we can give you, our soldiers to take care of you, and then in exchange, we're going to do this and this. And obviously, you just want to live. Your life is more important than being hungry sometimes. So you are willing to give everything for your life so that your citizens can live. So that's what these leaders do. But now with the Sahel regions, they actually expose the West, because as soon as they kick out the French troops, they are beginning to be able to be in control of their own countries. And even the citizens are testifying. I think you saw on my last clip about the children, and I can put it here again, the children literally screaming how happy they are with their leader. And then they want to assassinate him. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Let me play that clip quickly about the children being happy. And even one of the boys says that he's actually willing to literally lay his life down for his leader, for his country in that sense. And I think I also share a video about how the normal citizens go and sleep at the palace where obviously Traore is, meaning that they are willing to die for their leader. Yet the West want to eliminate them. Like, what is going on? Anyway, let me play that video first.
We have the best president in Africa. We're the best.
So the second topic really would be like Traore is bringing back the death penalty. And why am I happy about this? I'm happy because I realized that with what's going on in the Sahel regions, I think the death penalty should come back so that it can be an example. Because the last time there was a death penalty in, I think, Burkina Faso was when 4 leaders were executed who were trying to overthrow the government of the guy. I don't even know that guy's name. It's not even that I don't know. I'm not interested to know the guy who actually killed his best friend, Thomas Sankara, for power. And when you look at him the way he looked now, he looked like a walking corpse. Because I think eventually you have a conscience and eventually it will bother you what you did to your friend. Do you know what Thomas Sankara told, because he was told in advance that this guy is actually going to assassinate you. He said, well, he's my best friend. If he's going to do that, then there's nothing I can do. Do you think that that person would not, like, he doesn't have a conscience to know that what he did is wrong? That's why he's looking like a walking corpse. He doesn't even look like a living being, to be quite honest. So anyway, so 4 people were executed during that time, and that was the last time. I think it's 1987, if I'm not, no, 87, was it not? That I think that's the year when Thomas Sankara was assassinated. Yeah, but I will put everything here on the screen so that you know what I'm like. You will be able to kind of fact check it, because I don't want to give information that's not right. Anyway, so he wants to bring the death penalty, and I feel like I'm happy about it because it's needed, especially with what's going on the continent right now. I think especially the Sahel region, I think they need that. When you look at Alassane Quattara right now, I think those 40 people that were arrested and the 1 Frenchman, I think they need that, honestly speaking. I feel like there need to be a way where they can make an example so that these people will be afraid to take chances. I mean, they are not afraid to take chances because they can pay money for these people to come out. I feel like that's not learning a lesson, to be quite honest.